In this video, we are going to learn about how do we search a particular string using a macro. So over here, the data which has been given to us are in the form of there are four particular rows. One is hi, one is ABC, one is path, and one is wow. Now, when I click this string, this particular button, it should ask me an input, and then if I try to find out something, then it should give me an output. So we have created a macro for that. But first, let's understand why do we need this particular macro. Assume that you have a million rows. So from 4 to you have 1,000,004. And then from those particular data sets, all rows are unique. And you need to find one particular data and you need to find in which particular row the data is. Okay. So instead of haggling around finding the data, there is a macro which is absolutely simple, which is available, and you can write it anywhere to use it. And that's why we have incorporated this particular example over here. We have already created a macro, but we'll show what exactly goes into that because it involves a little bit of coding. And then we'll see how do we incorporate this button as well. So let's go to a macro first. So macro is a find string. Once you edit this, okay. Now I have provided the comments as well, so you can use your or you can spare some time to go through the comments as well. All right. Now when I created this macro find string, I first have to uh, declare something unlike the other macros which we are already done, which was a part of recording a macro, which is over here. So if you go to see macros, one is basic math macro, which is edit, and if I click on edit, so this is more like a basic math macro which we had recorded. All right, this macro also we recorded copy formatting macro, which was a part of a different sheet. Now this was a recorded macro, so there was nothing declared as such. But now we are doing some operations, we are writing some code. So that's why we need to define some variables over here. And that's why we need to write some code over here. So mathematically what we are actually doing it, or logically what we are doing it. So we are actually starting from 2. So assume that you are the computer and you have been given a task to find a particular string from the list of a data set. Now what will you do? First thing, you will start from cell number A2. So let's say you want to find wow as a text string. So you have input which is wow, which you want to find it. So you first go to cell number A2. You will take the content of A2 which is blank, compare with wow. If it matches, then you will say output matches, and whatever I am finding is on particular cell which is A2. If I don't, I will go to next cell which is A3. Again I will compare with wow. Again if I find the output is at A3, if not, then I will move on. So technically what will you do? You will go to A2. Is the output wow? Sorry, so output is not wow. Move to A3. Is output wow? No. Move to A4. Is output wow? No, because input is high and output is wow. So it doesn't match. A5, ABC doesn't match. Move to A6, it's path, it doesn't match. Now move to A7, it's wow. So wow equal to wow. That's what you actually trying for. You are finding for. And that's the output you have got. So as a computer, you will throw output as A7. Now how do we translate this entire thing into a coding? So that's what we have written here. So we have defined something as integer and string. So there are first thing which is defined, this is called as dimension I as an integer. So this is defining there is a variable called as I as an integer. And there is a second dimension which is I row number as an integer. Which row number? Okay. A2 find text as string. So now text string is my find as text. Okay, so now let's analyze this. I have three variables. One is I row number, and third is S find text. Find text. So mathematically, what will it do is it starts from 2. It starts from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It will go on and on till whatever rows we have defined. I row number is wherever it found that particular row, which is if it found at 7, then it will give output as 7. What I am trying to find? Wow. So this is my input. Alright. So it says that as find text input box give me some input. So whenever I click this particular button, it says me that give me some input. To find this cell or to give this impression, you have to write as find text input box give me some input. So we have done that. Give me some input. You can write wow over here. Okay. So it has taken into s find text. So s find text is wow over here. Moving on, we have to create a circular path or a circular method in which it goes from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wherever it finds. So that input is I. So what I'm saying is for I 1 to 100, so it starts from 1, it will end at 100. It will start from 1, it doesn't find it will go to 2, it doesn't find it will go through 3. So there means it will go up to 100 times. We can write this as 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 1 million, whatever input is which we require. Okay. Now it says that if cells 1 comma 1, so if I is 1, it says 1 comma 1 dot value. This means it will take this value 1 comma 1. 1 is first row, first column, this cell. It doesn't find, then I will become 2. It will become cells 2 comma 1. So 2 comma 1 is this 2 comma 1. Then it will be 3 comma 1, 4 comma 4, something of that sort. And it takes the value and it will compare to as find text which we have entered over here. If my condition is true, that's particular my row number. So if I find my output at 7, where my I will be at 7 and row number will be at 7, that's the output which I want. So that's how it will take I row number is I. So I've assigned value of I to a different variable and then exit. So I've exited everything. Once I exit, it will directly move out of this particular if and for. If and exit, I will be exited out of this particular loop and I will directly move to this. So if my I row number is 0, if I cannot find anything, then it says string is not found. But if I found out something, then it will say the string is found in particular row number. This is more like a concatenate, which we have written equal to concatenate. So it's just concatenated and given as the output. If the first instance it doesn't find the value, then it will go to next I. So I will be incremental. I will become 2. Then it will become cell 2 comma 1. If it now is found, then it will go to 3. Cell 3 comma 1. It will go up to 100 comma 1. Whatever value we have mentioned over here from I 1 to 100. It will go up till there and then it will come back. Okay. So it will do 100 iterations. We can write this up to 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, whatever value is convenient to us. Now let's see how does it work. So we click this particular button. It gives us the input saying that input box, give me some input. So same input, same output has been given to us, give me some input. I write ABC. So it starts from first, second, third, fourth and fifth. My output is at A5. If I click OK, it says string ABC found in cell A5. This is precisely the output over here. So what it must have done, it would have started from cell 1. Okay, so initially it would have taken s find text as ABC because that was the input which has been given. Then it would have started from cell 1 comma 1, and it would have compared with ABC. So my blank cell would have been compared with ABC. It's incorrect. So exit. Next I becomes 2. 2 comma 1 is again a blank. It doesn't work. Next I, which is 3. 3 comma 1 is high. It doesn't work. Again go to a next row, which is this ABC. Now ABC would have been found. So I row number at that instance would have been 5. Okay. And then it moves over here because I row number is not equal to 0. So it will move over here. It says message box. So in the message box also you have to write string. String is into inverted commas, mean it will write string as it is, and find text as find text was here, which was ABC. So string ABC found in cell A and row number over here. All right. So this is precisely the point. This is a one column operation. So over here we have defined I comma 1. Instead of that we can also define I comma j, where it will also search the column. Okay, it will also search the column. Uh, we are not getting into two complexities of this, but it can also move into a two-dimensional and three-dimensional kind of a thing. Writing multiple for loops inside for loops. So we can write something like this: for j equal to 1 to 100. So this will become I1 to 100, which is rows, and column 1 to 100. So in all, there's a 10,000 different output. 100 rows and 100 columns. 100 into 100 become 10,000. So we can write something like this as well over here. For dynamism, we can write I comma j over here as well, where we are providing the dynamic columns over here. Okay. Now to coming to a final point, how did we insert this particular push button? Okay, so there is something called as developer tab on the right hand side. Developer tab, there is something called as insert. If you click on insert, you have form controls and an ActiveX control. We'll simply use form control. So over here it says push button. So when I write this push button, okay, it's a click. Macro name is button3 click. Okay, so button3 click is my find string, and I click OK. I can edit this as well. Find string, and if I right click this, it says assign macro. So macro is already assigned to this find string. I click OK. It is working now. So once I click that particular button, I have to assign a macro to that particular button. And then once I click that button, the macro runs automatically. So that's the beauty of it. Now when do we run a macro? Where we have a repetitive operation, something like finding. But when we have dynamic operation which changes every time, we cannot run a macro because macro is a standard code. We can make it dynamic, but it takes a lot of time and effort. Also, another important drawback of macro is that it cannot be reversed. So which will we see in the next example. Only suggestion is you can write this particular macro by yourself, or you can copy this and paste it. You can understand line by line what exactly that particular statement does, and then try to understand the macro. All right. So I hope that clarifies. Thank you.